What do we got?
Seems like somebody got the black slapped off of him.
Is this the black?
All that we could find.
Looks like someone got slammed to the bottom of the mat.
Welcome to the bottom of the mat, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Double B.
This is House.
And this is Fish Food. And I'm happy to announce we finally have our website up. Kind of. We're still working on it.
Yeah.
But
hey.
It's a white page where you can listen to our crap.
Well, I'm working on that. But
It's actually a multicultural page. Don't feel bad.
we're working on it.
That dead dog is a white dog.
If you want to go visit it, it's bottom of the mat with 2 T's and yes, 2 T's because fish are really bad at spelling. I have these fins and they're not really good at typing. I just said forget it. So bottom of the mat with 2 T's.com. And you can follow us on Twitter, bottom of the mat. And then you can follow me, BOTM Fish Food. And our email address, which we have Yahoo and Gmail right now.
Yes, yeah.
It's bottom of the mat, 2 T's, at Gmail or Yahoo.com.
Mm-hmm. And link to us on Google Plus if you're like one of the 3 people that use that.
And we're also going to be putting our podcasts, our videos, everything on YouTube for everybody to view as well.
Word.
So, you want to kick things off with our power rankings? The Power 25.
Let's do it.
This is the Fish Food Power 25.
Indeed.
Well, we started off with number 25, Dolph Ziggler. Last week he was ranked 24th on the WWE Power Rankings, so he dropped 1. And the reason I dropped him 1 is he lost to Bad News Barrett in the Intercontinental Championship number 1.
But who wasn't going to lose to Bad News Barrett on his first day out? Second day.
He's impressed me since he's come back.
Yeah, and he's
going to get that push.
He's on a roll.
I can see him rocking some gold here pretty soon.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I would
There's
love
other
to
men
see
in
him.
that tourney.
Well, while we're on the subject of the tournament, so far we've got Cesaro and RVD going off on next Monday, then it's Sheamus and Bad News Barrett. What are your predictions for that?
Oh, I want Cesaro
Barrett
and
and Cesaro. Yep.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think RVD is going to win for the simple fact they're still trying to set up Swagger versus Cesaro at Extreme Rules. What better way? Swagger comes in. He's pissed because he didn't win his match against Sheamus. He doesn't think Cesaro deserves a shot either. Comes in, causes Cesaro to lose the match by attacking RVD and getting him disqualified. Or maybe Cesaro will win because Swagger will attack Cesaro, RVD loses by disqualification.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's going to happen. Swagger's going to attack Cesaro. However, I feel like that would happen probably more in the finals, give it a little bit more of a letdown for Cesaro. That way he's got more motivation because he was so close to getting that number 1 contendership
Plus,
spot.
I think it would work even better. Let's say Bad News Barrett goes over Sheamus, and it's Cesaro and Bad News Barrett in the finals. That would, Barrett's a heel anyway, so he doesn't need to win clean.
He's a sort of heel.
Well,
Come on.
He plays a heel character that everybody loves. He's one of those anti-heels.
I love
what
that.
do you guys think that freaking Paul Heyman's going to claim it was his master plan for Cesaro to win this? Because now Heyman's the master of plans, apparently.
It seems like it.
His planning's worked incredibly.
His plannings are just obvious. Just okay, Captain
All right.
Obvious, win the match.
So at number 24, we have Cody Rhodes and Goldust. Last week they were 22. However, on Raw, they lost to Rybacksel, which is not so much a bad thing. Rybaksel's a very good team, but they did lose, so I had to drop them.
Mm-hmm.
They've pretty much been on a downward spiral since losing that tag team title.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably split them up, and they want to use Goldust as more of a trainer developmental wise. So
that would be perfect career versus career match with Dusty Rhodes as a special referee, which would it would sell, but it would kill Dusty Rhodes.
It would kill everyone in the audience because, and the way I would like to see that go down, I know it's not going to, but I'd like to see Goldust as the heel in that angle.
I think that would be the most beneficial.
Oh yeah,
because I've seen Cody Rhodes as a heel so much, and not only do I not want to see it because of that, but I've watched this kid grow up on screen from the green young upstart several years ago, to a superstar who I feel one day will hold the championship, the big championship.
Well, and especially if you want Rhodes to go over, make Goldust the heel, and Rhodes beats Goldust.
Absolutely. That puts him over. That gives him a little bit more credibility. Then give him back like the IC strap, or give him the U.S. title, and then put him in another major rivalry. But I feel immediately after that it's time
I'd like
for his
to see
big
him
push.
and Big E go at it. Go do about 2-3 months, couple of pay-per-views.
Yeah, that'd be
of
nice.
him and Big E.
Number 23, making their power ranking debut, Los Matadores with El Torito. The only reason they got a spot at main event, they faced 2 MB, 2.5 MB with Hornswoggle, and it ended in no contest. And then on Friday Night SmackDown, the two of them put together a really hilarious match, Hornswoggle and Torito. And Torito ended up winning, so I awarded him the 23. Did you guys see that match yet?
I didn't.
I did not.
I'm definitely gonna have to check that out.
There were so many
actually sounds
short
pretty
people
awesome.
jokes. Like, Hornswoggle at one point went for the clothesline from Hell.
Yeah.
JBL said it's the clothesline from Smurfville.
Wow.
There were so many little
the
short people jokes.
clothesline from Smurfville.
So it was Matadores versus in El Torito, or was it a singles match with El Torito?
At main event, it was Los Matadores versus Mahal and McIntyre, with their mascots, side by side, and it ended in no contest after Torito and Hornswoggle started brawling in the middle of the ring.
Okay, so
And then from SmackDown it was singles.
so when did it was singles between
Torito and Hornswoggle, yes.
when did Hornswoggle become aligned with 3MB?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay, all right.
So up 3 spots from 25 is Layla. On Monday she helped Fandango beat Santino and Emma in a really quick match. And I am liking Layla and Fandango. I'm glad they finally have use for it.
I'm liking them too. I feel like love the Eric Clapton reference. I feel like out of this angle though, we're gonna see Summer Rae come out as a face. I don't see any
so
other.
she could continue to be a bitch on Total
it'll be after
Divas?
they
She can
finish.
continue to be that person, but Total Divas is, everyone sort of realizes that's behind the scenes and everything, sort of, even though a producer is setting up most of it.
It'll be after they finish filming the Marine 4, which I liked Marine 3, but I think they need to stop making it.
Yeah,
That was
I
bad.
know. It's
gonna
feeling
saturate
like
the
the Land
market.
Before Time, Part 17.
All right, number 21, Tamina Snuka. She wasn't ranked last week. She earned herself a title shot against Paige at Extreme Rules by winning the 10 Divas Battle Royal. I like this. I mean, it's a
all
good
the
challenge
power
for
to her.
Paige to prove herself. She's
As
already
long
done
as she
really
doesn't
well.
just drop the strap to her girlfriend as soon as she gets it.
I don't think she will.
Hey, just gonna be like, sweetie, can I have my title back? She's like, here you go.
Number 20, Jack Swagger. He was 18th last week, so he dropped 2 spots. And since the Real American split, he hasn't really done very good. He lost to
Of course
Sheamus in the
not.
IC tournament, and then he lost a Big Show on SmackDown.
The kid is going nowhere without Cesaro.
But he's realizing that, and he's also generating a lot of heat. So due to his split with Cesaro, I'm not sure where he stands as face or heel.
Well, and the thing is, I didn't drop him a whole lot because he's still getting crowd reaction.
Yeah.
Had he got absolutely no reaction or straight heavy boos, I probably would have dropped him a little bit more. Number 17, Rybaxel. We talked about them beating the tag champs,
Appreciate it.
or the former tag champs, I should say.
Yeah, we've already touched on them, so we can move on. from
Number
there.
16, Alexander Rusev.
Oh,
Up 7
shit.
spots. He had the biggest jump of anybody who wasn't in the ranking before.
Of course, yeah, that motherfucker's a beast.
On SmackDown, he actually finally had himself a pretty decent match. I remember last week I said, he's had squash matches. It's not proving anything. He finally proved that he can throw it out. It was like a 5-minute match this time, but he beat R-Truth on SmackDown to beat Xavier Woods on Raw.
Xavier Woods didn't even know what was going on either.
No, he did not. It was
That was an ass whooping.
It was
I was like, hey, Xavier,
Plus-
run!
plus,
Save yourself!
Rusev did have a pretty good standing against the Shield in that main event at Raw.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I like him. I loved the little tension that they hinted at between him and R-Truth during that Xavier Woods. Because you know how Rusev, he always keeps the accolade in.
Mm-hmm.
And then R-Truth took exception to that.
I think it'll be a nice little feud to get him started. That's
because that'll be nice.
I was watching on Bleacher Report. They had a reality check thing. They were talking about Rusev. He's the next Ryback. He's the next Khali. Build him up for absolutely no reason. They just put him in matches just to put him in matches. And now that they've got a feud established, I feel like he's got purpose.
Now, before we hit 15, let's do a little mini rant. WWE Network starting to do this little outside the ring type of thing. What do y'all think about that? Like, I really like it. The first one I saw was Booker T cooking. And I was like,
I saw that. That was pretty cool.
We'll go to Booker T's house.
I need to start watching that a little more.
I would eat a lot of.
They did that. They did Jerry the King Lawler. If you guys want to get Jerry the King Lawler a gift, Coca-Cola stuff. He loves Coca-Cola stuff.
I'll have to remember that. Mm-hmm. All right, so number 15.
And apparently Affliction shirts, because he'll wear it on air.
For number 15, I'm afraid I have to ask for some decorum, please. Because it's time for Bad News Barrett.
Yeah.
He was ranked 19th last week. He has up 4 spots. He beat Ziggler in the Intercontinental Championship Tournament. And he beat Sin Cara at main event. And then on Friday night, he had some really good podium work, which helped, I think he talked about people being unintelligent in Tennessee or something like that. Number 14, somebody who wasn't ranked last week. That's a huge jump, but Kane.
Lord have
He's
mercy.
putting the mask back on.
Yes.
I'm still not excited about it.
I'm looking forward to seeing him, but it was...
I'm not.
I was expecting to see him that night.
Well, because he said he was going to eviscerate Daniel Bryan, and the fact that Daniel Bryan wasn't on TV this week.
By the way, eviscerate anything without the eviscerator viscera.
By the way, congrats to Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella.
They were gone because their honeymoon. But it seems that, instead of Randy Orton or Batista or Triple H targeting Daniel Bryan, they focused on the Shield. Kane said he's going to eviscerate Daniel Bryan. So I think we've got our main event at Extreme Rules.
I do too. I'm wondering what's going to happen with Randy Orton's rematch clause, or if he's just going to say, screw it, I got the band back together.
Possibly. Who knows?
He's going to pass to Triple H.
It keeps things fresh, though, because usually Extreme Rules is always WrestleMania rematches. It doesn't seem like we're gonna have that this week or this month, which I kind of like.
Yeah, it's
fresh.
It's an entirely new, fresh thing. I'd love to see like a War Games match, by the way, between Evolution and the Shield.
That would be great. Well, that is confirmed for Extreme Rules. They confirmed that on SmackDown.
That they will
have
be facing
a match. We just don't know.
And we'll get to all that in a little bit. Number 13 is Sheamus. He dropped 1 spot. He did beat Jack Swagger in the tournament, but he got his ass beat on SmackDown to Batista. It was a very solid match, but they're trying to build Batista because of the Evolution.
Oh, yeah. Evolution.
Number 12 is the Big Show. He was supposed to have a match against Sandow, but I guess they cut his time short because there was so little time. Sandow came in, started talking. Big Show came in and just knocked him the fuck out.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then on...
I did see that part.
And then he beat Jack Swagger.
It's a big pow.
He beat Jack Swagger to kind of help build up some momentum that he lost at WrestleMania. Number 11, we've got the new Divas Champion, Paige. She was ranked 14th last week. She has done
Emma's
a lot
better.
Who was better?
Freaking Emma, I think is her name.
Emma?
Yeah.
I don't think she's ready for a belt, though. I mean...
She's ready. That dance is down packed. You got a dance, a gimmick. You ready for a belt?
Well,
Paige ain't even got no gimmick.
Well,
she does. She's the anti-diva.
Well, but speaking while we're talking about Emma, the Emma Santino Fandango Layla, why is that still going on? I like it, but it's overstayed its welcome.
Yeah,
it was great the first couple times.
The people who think they can dance, but probably shouldn't.
I'm saying,
and not even that. It's just they're boring matches. I
mean, they really
Santino's funny.
It's
and so
filler mostly, I think.
And Fandango does play the perfect foil for Santino. He's way over serious about who he is, even though his gimmick freaking sucks. Go back to developmental and fix that, please.
They won't repackage him for a while.
It'll be a while. Especially since they still have to figure out what they're going to do with this whole Summer Rae Layla angle thing.
I think they've
which
got plans.
opens up good repackaging momentum, but
For Summer Rae, it does.
well, for Fandango too, because now Summer Rae was the dancer the whole time, because she's the one that's been doing most of the work anyway.
No.
So it comes out that he finally comes out like, I can't dance. The only thing I can do is what Summer Rae taught me. And then that motherfucker repackages himself. 2 weeks later, he's good to go. I'm ready to see Cesaro's new theme music, by the way.
No, maybe his theme music is just Paul Heyman speaking.
Paul Heyman as theme music. I'd kill myself.
Number 10 is RVD.
I'd kill myself.
Number 10 is RVD. He was ranked 11th last week. He beat Del Rio in the tournament, and he was off on SmackDown. They're filming their stuff in the Middle East, so that's why That's why there was hardly anything going on SmackDown. That's why Torito versus Hornswoggle even happened.
Well,
half the roster is overseas at the moment.
Game of Thrones had a slow week too, but we'll get to that in due time.
Number 9, the Usos. They were 6th last week. I dropped them because they for the last 2 weeks they've been beaten by Evolution, and their match ended via disqualification after the elimination picked it up because the Shield kicked their ass. So they're losing momentum. I hate to take it away from them because they didn't really do anything wrong, but they're losing momentum because the WWE keeps... And also, what I don't like, when Orton and Batista were challenging for the title, Michael Cole kept referring to it as a consolation prize. That's not a way to build up a belt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Titles are supposed to be prestigious.
Mm-hmm.
They made it look like it's garbage, and I don't like that.
Whatever legitimacy they was building up suddenly came to a grinding halt when they did that
Number 8, Antonio Cesaro. Cesaro. He doesn't have a first name anymore, apparently.
He's like Cher.
Last week he
Cher.
was 10, so we moved up 2. He beat Mark Henry in the number 1 contenders tournament, which was huge. That neutralizer on Henry was just absolutely awesome.
I didn't think he was going to get him up there for a second.
Well, he did to the Big Show, and Big Show's a little bit heavier,
Yeah.
so I knew he could do it. And in fact, I think
It's
my
just the wider base is what concerned me.
My girlfriend was watching, and she saw it, was like, oh my god, did he just do that? I'm like, yes, he did. It was awesome.
It was.
Number 7, Big E. He was ranked 9th last week. He moved up 2 spots. He beat Del Rio by disqualification because Del Rio refused to break his hold. He was in the, I want to say it was the cross arm breaker or something, and he was holding on. Big E was holding on to the ropes, and he didn't release until after the count of 5.
And next.
Number 6 is Evolution.
Nice.
Last week, Orton was ranked 7th, Batista was ranked 8th, and Triple H was ranked 16th. So I moved them all together because they're now a stable.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I'm not going to lie, I had no idea that they were coming out until I saw the Evolution on the Titantron. I didn't
I
recognize
saw that clock fall in.
I didn't recognize the music at first. The
Yeah.
Shield was in that 11-on-3 match, and then I hear some music. I'm like, who the hell is this? And then I see
That
Evolution.
guitar
I'm like,
squeak.
oh my god. Because I haven't heard that theme music in so long.
It's been a while, and it's...
You know what'd be really cool, though? What if they snag Stone Cold Steve Austin in the Evolution as their new old guy?
I don't know, maybe. Number 5, Brock Lesnar. He wasn't on TV this week. He was ranked number 1 last week because he beat The Undertaker. You know, that's just that doesn't happen. So he hasn't been on TV since.
We're probably not going to see him.
I'm probably going to drop him
SummerSlam.
quite a bit later. But he stays in the top 5 for now because of that victory over The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Because people are still talking about it. Especially Paul Heyman. Number 4, Daniel Bryan. I dropped him 2 spots because he wasn't on TV.
Boo. He married my wife. I'm joking.
But, you know, he missed action, but people were still talking about him. He wasn't the focus of the show. In fact, the focus of the show Monday was the Intercontinental Championship, which I think is great. It builds some prestige for that belt. Title, championship, whatever they're supposed to call it.
I'm still waiting for them to unite the big championships so we can get something smaller like the light heavyweight or something like that. Or the hardcore. Bring the hardcore championship back.
I don't know if that's going to work in the PG era, but
Hey, you never know.
Number 3, the Wyatt family. They were ranked 5th last week, so I moved up 2 spots because of Brock Lesnar and Bryan dropping. But
I can't wait to see how they do it, what comes up between them and John Cena.
Well, John Cena actually challenged Bray Wyatt to a steel cage match at Extreme Rules, which he accepted. which I think will be great. It's a great way to show that Bray Wyatt does not need those other two.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great time for Cena to put
Wyatt over. I understand why they wouldn't do that at WrestleMania because it's a huge stage. Extreme Rules, though, definitely should happen. And you know me, I'm a Cena fan. But I do kind of like Bray Wyatt. I like his gimmick. I like his music.
His music's freaking awesome.
For real.
This is going to sound really nerdy, but I like his body art, his tattoos and everything.
Hey,
I'm a big fan of that. I mean, you can see.
Half this show is going to be nerdy, so it's okay. It's all good.
Number 2 was John Cena. He was 4th last week, and I moved him up for the same reason I moved Wyatt up. He continues to ride his wave of momentum. Did you guys saw the promo he cut on Raw with all the pictures? I thought that was hilarious. There were a lot of critics that said he's not serious enough, though. This is a business that's all serious. You've got to have some comic relief.
Well, and I thought it was nice because Bray Wyatt was coming out and he was like you were saying, he was stone cold serious, and he asked Cena to come out and play. My favorite part of that promo, by the way, Cena says, "Now I'd love to come out and play, but I don't need another push. Nobody wants to see that." I was like, I was like, "Oh my God! You just said what I've been saying for years."
Well, and what I think is interesting about this feud, it reminds me of a movie, The Dark Knight.
Yeah,
Bray Wyatt playing the part of Joker, wanting Batman to show off the true monster, wanting Batman to kill him.
Yeah.
Batman won't do it. John Cena. So I mean, kudos to creative for thinking of something like that, but they didn't come up with it on their own. In fact, I saw a picture. It was hilarious because it was WWE Creative most of the time. It had a picture of Patrick drooling, right?
Yeah.
And then it said WWE Creative this week, picture of Einstein, which is very appropriate because this week has been a great week.
It really
creative,
has.
especially with the Intercontinental Championship tournament.
Which, by the way, the Intercontinental Championship tournament reports are coming in that it was originally just going to be a fatal 4-way match between Big Show, Cesaro, I think Del Rio was in there, and Christian. Christian isn't cleared. Plus, Vince looked at it and he said, "We're trying to create prestige. That fatal 4-way for the number 1 contender doesn't give it enough prestige. Let's get a tournament."
We also need to say the same thing for the U.S. title for Dean Ambrose, because when was the last time he defended it that you know of?
But
I think it was right after Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And they all seem to be spur of the moment. There's no build to any of the title matches. This time there is. There's a bit, for the Intercontinental Championship, there's a big build because there's so much work putting into it. There's 7 matches to determine the contender. And and it's all like Biggie was saying. I look at the list of 8 people. There's no lackeys. There's nobody.
No, those are all great guys in there.
Exactly.
It's going to be pretty cool. I still think that we're going to see Dean Ambrose stripped of the title. And by the way, who called a tournament for number 1 contendership and all this? I was proud of that. I called a storyline.
You and I both kind of were similar. I was saying it needs to be Evolution and Kane versus the Shield and Daniel Bryan. It was close. That's going to be the Evolution versus the Shield and probably Kane versus Bryan.
Yeah.
Which, was close.
Calling a match is one thing, but calling storylines, we both have reason to be proud of ourselves.
I'm especially proud of you because of the tournament.
I mean, that's out of the blue.
When I saw that on Monday before Raw aired,
people's going to think we're getting insider information and stuff. That's going to give us so many more people.
The studio is bugged.
I swear, it really is.
Okay, number 1 on our countdown is the Shield. And I put them there because they did show Evolution who was boss earlier in Monday Night Raw. However, they also did get their asses kicked by Evolution at the end of the show. But they did show a very strong showing in that 11-on-3 match.
Yep.
In fact, it was funny when they said who their opponent was. I was expecting like a maybe 3-on-4, something like that.
Yeah.
Del Rio comes out, blah blah blah. 3MB comes out. I'm like, okay, this is not good.
Yeah.
And then
that's
Michael
6.
Cole says it's 11 people. I'm like, this is gonna be bad.
Because let's see who all was there. It was 3MB. It was Del Rio. It was Rybaxel. It was Titus O'Neil.
Mm-hmm.
There was...
Let's see. It was the Shield versus Del Rio, Swagger, Fandango, 3MB, Titus O'Neil, Rybaxel, Rusev, and Bad News Barrett.
Mm-hmm. Which was great because we got to see Bad News Barrett twice.
We got to see Rusev.
And
he actually, like I said earlier,
he put up a pretty strong showing. And he put up a pretty strong showing. He was in the ring with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And he was dominating Roman Reigns.
Which does not happen very often.
No, that's something we haven't seen since ever. I can't remember Roman Reigns being thrown around a ring like that. Ever.
Well, and one thing from the main event of Raw that I definitely like, the Shield's always believe in the Shield, and then Triple H says believe in evolution.
Yeah.
This is going to be the next. Well, I mean, it's not. I don't think it's going to reach the hype as the Wyatt family versus the Shield, but it's going to come close.
I feel like it's going to come close, and I feel like that Elimination Chamber match, or not Elimination Chamber, Extreme Rules. Too many pay-per-views with ease, by the way. Just throwing that one out there. Differentiate. It's like I was looking on WWE Network. 1999, they had 2 No Way Out pay-per-views. Or not No Way Out, No Mercy pay-per-views. One was in UK, and the other one was in the States in like November. And I was like,
so if you look up No Way Out 99, you're going to find
No Mercy. You're going to find 2.
Yeah. And then on SmackDown, I think that this feud is going to be very heavily built on promo work.
Oh, because they're great on promos.
Well, I remember Roman Reigns said something about kings do not win wars. Soldiers do. And then on SmackDown, Triple H answered with, soldiers are simply the currency on which empires are bought and sold.
Oh my God, I love it.
That gave me chills just now.
It really is.
I like how there was laughing in the background as soon as you got just saying that.
I'm not sure if the mic picked it up, but if it didn't, I was laughing.
If it did, though, that's going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
We were like, ooh. I was like, what the heck?
But yeah.
When did we get Rocks on the Rock? The Rock won't come in our house.
I've got my Power 25 if we want to hear it.
Sure.
Did we get all the way through?
That's number 1.
All right, my Power 25. At number 25, because I still love the guy, CM Punk. He's on the list. I'm waiting.
I actually wore my shirt today.
That's not the purpose of the Power 25.
I understand. It's basically the Power 24. Punk is going to be on the list because I know.
Mine's a serious one. His is more comic relief. And I did wear my CM Punk shirt today.
Yeah, well, mine's fairly serious. At number 24, I've got Rhodes and Goldust. Number 23, I do have Tamina. She picked up. She's going to be number 1 contender. I don't know how the match is going to go. I don't see them taking the belt off of Paige this quickly.
Oh, I do.
I feel like they're going to take her NXT title away, or she's going to abdicate that.
Speaking of which, I hate to interrupt you, but who should take the NXT title from Paige?
I feel like Charlotte.
Charlotte would be one.
Charlotte, maybe Emma. Charlotte and Emma.
I don't think Emma should because she's main roster. It'd be really busy for her. Bailey is a good one.
Who's
the other one of the BFFs? So Charlotte and who else?
I don't even remember.
I think it was Sasha Banks.
Yeah,
something like that.
I'm going to bring the intergender title to the WWE. It's going to be me, and I'm going to have 2 females as my tag partners. We're going to call ourselves the Triple Threat.
Okay, so continuing on. Now that we've got that out of the way,
add me in there. We'll make it a fatal 4-way you never want to miss.
All right.
You guys should call yourselves the Orgy.
The Orgy.
Sorry.
And when we split it up, it'll still be us as a tag team. It'll be black and tan. I'll be black, of course.
Because you totally fit that.
I know, right? Los Matadores is number 22. Ryback I've got is 21. They're starting to come into their own, I feel, in the tag team division.
And the thing about the tag team division, though, since we've got so many, we had the one team split, the Wyatt family. You can't really consider them in the tag division because they're doing singles feuds. Yeah,
they're doing singles feuds.
You can't put the Shield and Evolution in there because they got their own feuds. We have no tag division. We have the Los Matadores, Ryback, the Rhodes, and the Usos. That's our tag division.
Yeah,
but
really,
they are bringing up the Ascension. I've heard they're next in line. With them, there's Bo Dallas, Adam Rose, then the Ascension, and then I believe they said that Sami Zayn.
And then whatever impromptu tag teams that you can come up with. I mean, remember, Team Hell No carried the belts for quite a while.
6 months.
I mean, that was... And they were damn good in the ring.
And because they were complete polar opposites.
I know, but you sort of need that with a tag team. You can't have two great big old guys going out there.
Like we said last week, you put like Show and Henry in there. Strength, strength, strength. Where's the speed?
You don't have speed.
Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio. Speed, 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 but no strength. You can't pick up guys and powerbomb them.
Yeah, you need something.
You can't. It's just going to take a whole lot of work.
You need like the Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns combination, where you got Seth Rollins doing just crazy shit from anywhere.
And see, he's not one of those people I would look at first glance. He's a high flyer.
But he totally is.
I would say he's more technical, but yeah. And you look at Roman Reigns, he is definitely strength, but he's also got the speed.
And all three of them have technicality, at Bret Hart levels.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd say
Roman Reigns can get on top rope too. He is Samoan,
and I'd say they're Rollins
families.
and Ambrose are up there with Hart and Chris Benoit. Yeah. As far as technicality.
Speaking of Roman Reigns, I hate to get into the nerd part just yet, but I was playing GTA 5 a couple days ago, and there's one mission with Trevor, where Trevor, he sees this one guy arguing with this girl, and she says, "I wish she would die." He runs up and does a Superman punch, I swear to God, and knocks the guy clean out. Nice. As soon as I saw that, I was like, Roman Reigns! It was awesome. If you guys don't know, it's on the mission where Trevor does the bike ride with Marianne, the crazy triathlon person. So, little footnote right there.
All right.
Nice.
After Rybaxel, because Rybaxel rings in at 21, I've got Hornswoggle and El Torito as one. Because let's face it,
put a feud in the Power 5.
They're gonna have a feud, and they're the only ones who can feud with each other.
It was a really good match between the two of them.
I'm just counting them as one entity.
One thing I did notice, Hornswoggle does have a lot of tattoos. He's got one that says "You can't hold me down" or "Can't bring me down" or something like that. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, Hornswoggle, I've been waiting to see him have some sort of a serious or semi-serious role. And now that as soon as I saw El Torito come in, I was like, we know this is going to happen. It's just like when we saw the Wyatt family come in after 6 months of the Shield.
My grandpa actually said the Shield Wyatt family needs to happen. It's like I don't, and I didn't really agree because it was heel versus heel, but they were starting to build the Shield as potential baby faces. So yeah, this is perfect.
It was and I love that slow face turn, but that was
no. You were talking about seriousness, and I wanted to know if you meant as serious as slapping the black off of someone.
I don't know if it's that serious, but it's a lot more serious a role than we've seen out of Hornswoggle before. I mean, let's face it, the most serious his character has ever gotten is the time that we finally found out that he was the anonymous Raw general manager.
Or go back a little bit farther when he was the illegitimate son of Mr. McMahon.
I know. I mean,
I loved that feud, and then he turned out to be actually Finley's son, which is it's funny,
which makes sense.
Of course, he's a leprechaun.
And then he finally was able to talk.
Word.
I don't know where. I think he just grabbed a mic and started talking, and it was like that Kofi Kingston. What happened to your gibberish?
Right. Well, I can't remember. It was a couple months ago. Hornswoggle was in the ring doing something, and Michael Cole accidentally let his real name slip. I think his name is Dylan.
Yeah.
He
broke kayfabe for half a second.
No, really, it wasn't break cake because he was just in the Muppet movie. Hornswoggle was.
Yeah, he was.
His name was freaking like his real name. Hornswoggle, his last name.
Yeah.
It's ain't no secret anymore.
Well, speaking of breaking kayfabe, the greatest instance of breaking kayfabe I've ever seen in regards to real names. You go back to, I think it was 2001 when they were building Punk versus Triple H for Night of Champions.
That wouldn't have been 2001, 2011.
No, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I was like, that's a little before that time.
Well, Punk and Triple H were trading blows back and forth on the mic, and Punk says, all right, this isn't CM Punk talking to Triple H, this is Phil Brooks speaking to Paul Levesque, blah, 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 and then they cut off his mic. It got the crowd so fired up. That's probably one of my most favorite promos from Punk of all time. Next to his pipe bomb.
Which pipe bomb? The man has
The very first, his
the
inaugural
very
one.
first, and I did love
The
his
one
one
I think this
against-
company would be much better when this man is dead. That pipe bomb.
Oh yeah.
He got so much heat for
Or
it.
I'd say that, except it just go to his doofus son-in-law and his idiot daughter.
Yeah, yeah.
The man was great on the mic. It's one reason why
No.
I refuse to take
Shane
him off
McMahon
of
is not a doofus. He actually owns a pretty successful company.
and I'd love to see
out of
Shane
China,
McMahon come back.
Asia, something like that.
But
That'd be awesome, dude.
CM Punk is, no one can touch him on the mic, and he just he's left such a big hole. That's why I have him on the Power 25. That they've had to scramble for matches because they were like, they've had his feuds planned out for 6 months in advance. He's that big of a star. When he left,
Well, one thing I remember when he left in January, right after the Rumble, they were planning on starting to build Triple H versus Punk,
yeah,
and they immediately threw Bryan into the mix, and it felt so out of place at the time because he came in, wanted to chance into the
into the
chamber.
Rumble. Oh yeah,
into the
into
chamber. And Triple H was just holding him down. And I was excited. I wanted to see Punk versus Triple H. I can understand why Punk doesn't want to do it because apparently Triple H was going to bury Punk. And he also, Punk wants the main event at WrestleMania. The fans want to see that.
He deserves it.
Exactly.
I mean, how many
He
months?
deserved to beat the Undertaker.
He was 434 days as the champion, and he still didn't get a main event.
Yeah, he went how many pay-per-views in a row where he was the champion and his match was second to last to John Cena, which pissed me the hell off at John Cena. I mean, that's creative. I understand, but it still made me...
I didn't watch that during the time
upset.
because I was in the middle of getting ready to go to basic training and all that, so I didn't get to watch most of that. I've watched it in the past. Speaking of which, our next countdown for next week is going to be our top 5 title matches of all time.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
And I guarantee you, Punk will be on that list a couple times.
Have you finished your top 25?
Oh no, I'm
We're
still
going to close the show with that.
Yeah, I know. We're hitting up about 37 minutes, so...
All right. 19, I've got Layla and Fandango.
You see, they put them together. I thought about putting Fandango in there, but he lost to Santino on SmackDown.
Yeah,
so
but I'm still feeling this feud, and I'm actually going to throw Summer Rae into that entire mix because that feud, especially the breakup on Twitter,
it's kicked off.
People are going to side with Summer Rae over Fandango breaking up with her via Twitter. I mean, that's happened a couple times to people
You get my text, it's over, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but this is such high profile. People are gonna feel for that young woman, and
I'm not.
Well,
I know you're not.
I'm the main culprit of breaking up people over the phone.
The only reason they broke it up anyway is because she's going to film the movie, which I would like to see her come back with Miz.
She is going to.
Yeah, I don't know how Maurice would feel about that.
Well, she is going. She is going to go and film a movie, you guys.
The Marine Corps.
Yeah, the Marine.
Hey, we all know Marines need loving too.
That's the title of the movie, the Marine Corps. Marines need loving too. Coming out in 2014, starring Summer Rae.
While we're talking about the Marines, have you seen any of the Marine movies? I saw part of 2.
Not.
I couldn't get into 2 because it was Ted DiBiase. John Cena played a very good Marine. I think The Miz played a much better Marine, though, because he had the kick-ass attitude.
The Miz
Marine
is
3
great.
is my favorite of the 3. I think it kicks the shit out of
I haven't watched any of them.
I haven't either, but The Miz, I do know, is a great actor. Like, legitimately.
Well, he did all that acting in the real world.
I know, right?
Don't come and kill us, Miz.
Please
we
don't.
Didn't mean it.
But we would love to interview you.
Yeah.
If you gotta kill one of us beforehand.
It would be the most awesome episode of our podcast yet.
The most must-see podcast.
In WWE history.
History.
Alright, number 18, I've got Sheamus. Obvious reasons, picking up wins in the tournament. He did get... he's picking up momentum. I like it. Bad News Barrett at 17.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I love the music. I love the gimmick. I love the character, and he's come back on fire.
Oh, yeah.
And like we mentioned...
That's one of the better repackagings I've seen in my life.
Yeah, because before he was just Wade Barrett, you know, he was
Wade Barrett.
He was the bare knuckle boxing champion.
Yeah, I
now
know.
he's Bad News Barrett, and they actually renamed his Bullhammer emblem the Bad News Bullhammer.
Yeah.
Which I love.
I love it. 16, I've got Rusev. Alexander Rusev. The guy is great. He's got a great monster heel potential.
And Lana, she can control that too, which I thought was funny. Because she stopped him for a second when he was going after Truth, and then she said, crush, and bam, immediately.
Yeah, and I've mentioned it before. I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast, but that entire dynamic between the two of them feels like...
Morris and Natasha?
Well, I was going to say, feels like Rocky IV.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. You got, what's his name?
I know it's... I can't remember the character's name.
But see, that'd be perfect. You know, you get him something, make him look unbeatable.
Mm-hmm. So then we got Apollo Creed and let him kill
really
him.
Is.
Yeah.
Well, let him kill a black man in the ring.
Funny thing
We've already got
this is starting off with R-Truth, so it is starting to look like
R-Truth's going to be Apollo Creed, and that's what the Miz, not the Miz, but who is R-Truth's right away? What's his name from Eminem? Morrison. Morrison's going to come back on him, and Morrison's going to be the Rocky. He's going to fuck everybody up.
Either that or the Real American's going to come in on him. And he's going to be in Star Spangled.
Cesaro would be perfect for that.
Cesaro would be too.
That would be a good way to push them both. You put a good 3-4 star match with the both of them. Yeah. Cesaro will come out on top, especially if Rusev looks dominating for several months. But like I'm saying, like end of July, maybe beginning of August is when you start this feud. And then climax at like September, October.
Then you give Rusev, because let's face it, Cesaro's star is on the rise. He's going to be a major star. I think he's in my top 5 actually. Yeah, but Cesaro's going to be a major player in the WWE going forward.
I'd like to see him as the WWE World Champ.
Yeah. I think one day we will.
It'll be a while because they got so many.
With the arm cannons.
At number 15, I've got Santino and Emma. It's a great combo. It's a great comedic feel, and they've won a lot of matches together.
And that dance is hot.
That's a high dance. Speaking of the comedic thing, after SmackDown, Emma went for a high five, and Santino high fived her with the Cobra. Immediately, her arm went limp, and she couldn't move it. It was hilarious.
I love it. And see, you know they sort of talk about stuff.
She was freaking out. Santino was like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" It was hilarious. Like, did he just high five her with the Cobra?
That's awesome.
Cobra! Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
like it was perfect.
14. I've got Paige. She not only did she win the championship from AJ Lee, but she picked up, and that was a good match for a Divas match. I mean, most Divas matches go like 2.5, 3 minutes tops. That was a good 5-minute match with Alicia Fox.
Yeah, and with Oksana on SmackDown, it was a very good match. And I was actually
Alicia
excited.
Fox was looking fine too.
When I heard that Paige was going to be in action again on Friday, I was like, this is going to be good.
Paige,
she's going to be the true savior of the Divas division.
I feel like she is.
AJ Lee's has put together some good matches, but I think Paige.
Okay.
A Paige and AJ Lee rematch is going to happen when she comes back because AJ Lee took some time off.
Yeah.
Which she deserves. She's been champion for 295 days. She deserves a little bit of a time off.
Her and her new fiance are freaking...
Oh, yeah. Well,
they just have
put
awesome
them together.
rings.
They both can cut pipe bombs. They're both very calm in the face of authority. They're both the longest reigning champions of their generation.
They're
the best
great.
couple ever.
They really are. That is the power couple. Sorry, H and Steph.
Now we're going to pause again for another little tidbit. I think it'd be fun since we see at least 3 divas an episode. If we do the diva of the episode, who would you marry?
Oh.
So we'll save that for after we do our top 5 wrestling themes at the end of the show. Then we'll pick one of the 3 divas that we saw in this last episode. We'll pick one to marry.
All right. 13 is Kane. I'm loving him coming back. It feels a little bit contrived, but it's about damn time.
Stephanie's releasing the Kraken.
It really does. It feels like it. And I'm not really excited about him versus Daniel Bryan because I've seen that so many times before, but it's been a while since we've seen Kane with the mask on, and
plus if you add a stipulation to it, that'll sell it.
Oh, yeah.
12, Big Show.
It's the big slow.
11, I've got RVD. Picking up some wins. Usos at 10.
Ooh!
Number 9 is actually pretty interesting. I put Sting as my number 9.
Oh, come on. You can't put him up that high for just showing up on a day.
Like I said.
But it carries so much more momentum because he has been in the business since the late 80s, and this is the first time
he's ever been
on like with the WWE. That carries so much more weight with it than I feel a lot of things do. Now, next week, he's not going to be anywhere. If I don't see him more next week, he's not going to be anywhere on it. But I feel like this carries enough momentum for him to crack my top 10.
Yeah.
Number 8, I've got Cena. 7, I've got Evolution. I put them all together. 6, I've got Bray Wyatt. Cena and Bray Wyatt,
just
they're
Bray Wyatt,
close. Just Bray Wyatt.
Well, the Wyatt family didn't really
done
do much this week,
at all. So I don't have them. But Bray Wyatt has been doing.
It's still nice that you included them though, because they are a unit.
Yeah, they are.
I agree with you including them all more than I agree with you excluding 2 of the members of the group, because they did help. They did have input in the match.
They have input in the match, but they're not really. They're in a sidekick role, which I don't like for them. Yeah. I like them as a unit, but when 2 of them are just there cheering them on,
let's go Robin and Batgirl.
Yeah,
Batman's got work to do.
But I love Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's coming into his own as a singles competitor, and I feel like that's why we're not seeing as many Wyatt family matches. Number 5 is Cesaro. Number 4, this is going to be a little bit surprising too. I put Paul Heyman. As a manager, but he's got
Bobby Heenan. I'm joking.
Hey.
I hate how Heyman's going to try to plug that he's the best of all time when we all know Bobby Heenan.
Bobby Heenan or Jimmy the Mouth of the South Hart.
Fuck Jimmy Hart. Bobby Heenan.
Y'all checked out Legend
I haven't yet.
No, I haven't yet. I need to watch that.
But yeah, I put
Gary Busey.
He may not be the best of all time, but he is definitely, of the last decade and a half, the best manager.
Damn, that's 10 years. Okay.
That's the last 15 years. I feel like he is the best manager.
Technically, no. Yeah, exactly. That's where I was going.
Paul Bearer, yes, but we didn't see him.
Well, I think he's the next.
He's
the next Paul Bearer, because if you remember when they were hyping him for the Hall of Fame, Kofi Kingston said, whenever somebody new comes with him, that guy's automatically legitimized. What just happened with Cesaro?
That's true.
Cesaro was almost, he was already pretty legitimate. He was automatically instant legitimacy right there. When I'm a Paul Heyman guy, it's like, oh, shit's about to get really good.
Absolutely.
In the words of the great Jim Ross, business is about to pick up.
Absolutely.
I thought you were going to say something about barbecue.
That's why I put Heyman on there, is because he's got so much momentum going. Even though not as a wrestler, he's definitely worthy of a spot on this list. Number 3, I've got Brock Lesnar. He beat the streak.
Enough said.
He's going to be in the top 5 for a while.
He's going to get the hell out of my top 5.
Not
that I'm doing a Power 25.
He's in my 25 for right now, but he's on his way
getting the hell out.
Daniel Bryan, I've got his number 2.
It's like putting the Raiders on your top. I'm joking.
The man's got. He is the most over superstar of all time. I don't think anyone has ever had that much of the WWE universe completely sold into the character.
I say, arguably, he's the most over of all time. Yeah.
It's arguable. It's going to be controversial, but I feel like he ekes out a few of the other superstars in the past. And number 1, I've got the Shield. The Shield they are dominant. They lost on Monday, yes, but it wasn't really a loss. It was a no contest.
Yeah.
And they held their own against 11 men who then beat them down, and that's the only way that Evolution got the upper hand. I do like the build-up of Evolution versus the Shield. This is going to be an awesome match. Like I said, I'd love to see it War Game style.
Right. Well, speaking of Extreme Rules, what do we have confirmed? We've got Paige versus Tamina for the title, Big E versus winner of the championship, or winner of the tournament, Cena, Bray Wyatt, the Shield versus Evolution, and most likely Bryan versus Kane.
Most likely, yeah.
So, what are y'all's predictions for either of those matches? We'll start with you. We'll start with Paige versus Tamina.
Paige versus Tamina. The power of Tamina is real.
I like Tamina, but I'm gonna give it to Paige. I don't think they're gonna take the strap off her yet.
See, and I agree. I think they're trying to legitimize NXT, and the fact that both Rusev and Paige both came away with wins their first night, and they have not lost yet, is evidence of that.
Yeah,
and I think a good title defense at Evolution or at Extreme Rules, would be perfect.
That's sort of where I'm at too. I feel like if you take the strap off of her in her first title defense, it
Well, she's not ready for that.
It ruins the legitimacy of
NXT.
the NXT developmental system, which is something that Triple H is wanting to put over as much as possible.
Exactly.
But you also have to understand that she herself said that she was not ready for this responsibility. More than once.
Which makes
so that's why I'm saying drop the strap. She can win it back when she's ready. Because do you really think she's gonna want to be traveling every day of her life for the next 230 days?
Well, think about it though. You never know when you're really ready. You think about parenting. You think you're ready, but sometimes you're not. Sometimes when you're not ready,
I have no damn kids.
Well, sometimes when you're not ready, you actually really are. It just depends.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes you need that thrust upon you, and for you to rise to the occasion.
Houston, well. Now that you say that, I got a letter in the mail for you today. I think you should see. It's right here. It says, "You're the father." Maury Povich, ladies and gentlemen. Maury Povich.
All right, moving on.
That's surprising.
Big E versus winner of the tournament. Who do you think is going to win the tournament, and do you think that he'll beat Big E?
Cesaro, yes. Definitely.
I feel like they're pushing Cesaro and Swagger into a feud, so I don't think Cesaro is going to win the tournament. I feel like it's going to be Bad News Barrett. And
that's somebody else I'd like to see.
But it's going to be a good match, and we're going to have finally a legitimate rivalry for Big E.
See, I partially agree with you there. I think it'll be Bad News Barrett. I don't know if he's going to pull it off, though. I mean, they're trying to build up his return. I think it'll be a damn good match, though.
It will be. It's going to be a great match.
It'll be definitely match of the year.
Cena versus Bray Wyatt in the steel cage.
Bray Wyatt. Just because he's going to outscare. I think Bray Wyatt's going to get him to finally snap at Extreme Rules. He's going to harm Bray Wyatt. He's going to hurt Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's going to be gone for 3 weeks. And in that 3 weeks, Cena is going to lead the Wyatt family down the dark road of destruction.
Keep dreaming.
I don't see that happening. I do agree that Bray Wyatt's going to win the match. But the only reasoning behind that is I feel like it's time for Cena to put Wyatt over as the top heel.
Yeah. And see, I hate to say, because you know how I hate picking against John Cena, but I would like to see John Cena lose. But I'd like to see him lose in a way that doesn't hurt his reputation.
Yeah,
but also gives Bray Wyatt so much momentum.
Gives him more legitimacy. I'd like to see Wyatt move on from this feud and actually feud again with Daniel Bryan, but over the title.
That'd be kind of nice. Kane? No. We're going to get to that. Evolution and the Shield.
I'm not going first.
This is tough.
I'll go first then. I think the Shield. I think since Triple H was eager enough to put Daniel Bryan over, I think he'll do the same with the Shield, which will help hype NXT because they were in NXT for a while. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I think this also could be a feud that they drag on for a couple months.
Oh, yeah.
Leading to a SummerSlam match between just Triple H and Roman Reigns.
I agree with
That
you
would
there,
actually be pretty cool.
and I'd love to see it. The only thing I feel like if you're going to drag the feud out, I think Evolution needs to win this first one.
Yeah.
Evolution needs to win the first round, and
or Evolution loses the first round, which Triple H is stubborn. I'm not going to let that happen. We'll do it again.
restart the
Doesn't
match.
Daniel Bryan have good rapport with freaking Ric Flair?
I know about Daniel Bryan.
Didn't Daniel? Well, I know Evolution did, but didn't Daniel Bryan have a little moment with Ric Flair at one time?
I think he may have had an in-ring moment once.
Yeah. But what if we use that as Ric Flair's little nudge into the door to put himself against Evolution? Because what if the storyline is it was Ric Flair's idea the whole time to start Evolution, and then Evolution didn't even call him when they decided to get back together. So now he's jealous. I don't want you guys to win this first one. I want the Shield to win this first one. He goes in, he messes with him, he helps the Shield win, and he gets behind the Shield.
Ric Flair is a manager for the Shield.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
We need to work for creative. Anyway, Kane, Daniel Bryan.
Kane
If
and
it
Daniel
happens.
Bryan.
If it happens.
Should. For the title, of course.
Kane and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I'm picking Daniel Bryan as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's too hot. He's too hot a commodity, and he
can't take
finally
the belt
got
out
the he finally got the belt. He got the belt clean off of a night when he was able to reactivate, re-energize the crowd after such a that crowd had no energy at WrestleMania at all. He was the only person. I feel like he was the only person in the entire arena that includes Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, and The Rock that could have got that much energy back into the crowd after something like that where The Undertaker lost.
All right, so we're getting to our last 5 minutes, so let's do our top 5 countdown.
Okay.
Start with you.
I actually have some perfect theme music for this, which just happens to be number 5 of my top 5. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Cactus Jack theme song. Say man!
See, I don't have music for mine, so that's cheating.
I'll play number 5 of everybody's list. How about that? Because I didn't play, don't play it.
You should play number 1 for mine, because number 1 for mine is probably something we haven't heard, but go ahead and continue with your list.
But yeah. I would say Cactus Jack theme, number 5. Number 4 for me would have to be the Rock's Nation Domination theme. When he was the leader of the nation, he had the Know Your Role theme, and I loved it. So that would be my number 4. Number 3, D-Generation X theme.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, freaking Dean Malenko's theme.
Oh yeah, the original Cesaro music.
The original Cesaro music. That Dean Malenko went hard.
I know.
And then that's one that I haven't been able to get out of my head for a while. I don't even know why, but it's another Mick Foley is number 1 just because it's been up here for I saw it once. I was watching some throwbacks, and it was when Brodus Clay was still the freaking dancing dinosaur. Yeah. And he invites the one and only Dude Love down into the ring, and that music hit. It's been stuck in my head ever since.
Oh God!
House.
I'm. All right. I'm gonna have to go with Sting, "Seek and Destroy" by Metallica from WCW. I mean, how often do you get Metallica? One of the biggest bands of last several decades to do your wrestling theme music.
All right, well, this isn't Seek and Destroy, but
No,
it is Sting.
This is one of his, and this was a close for number 5.
Plus, I really don't want to get sued by Metallica.
Number 4, I have to go with, and it's not really a wrestling theme, but it wasn't anybody's entrance theme. I'm going to sort of play with the rules a little bit, sort of, if you'll allow it. The theme to Survivor Series 2002.
Oh yeah.
Always by Saliva.
That is still technically a theme.
I love it. If you haven't looked up the Elimination Chamber, it's the first ever Elimination Chamber match at Survivor Series 2002. The promo for that, featuring Always from Saliva, it was a great match. It featured Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Booker T, Chris Jericho, Kane, and RVD in an Elimination Chamber match.
Michaels won that one, didn't he?
Michaels won. The first ever one. It was brilliant. And the promo was possibly the best promo that didn't feature Paul Heyman ever. I loved it. Number 3, Chris Benoit.
Oh yeah.
I love it. It's great. Number 2, I've got to give that to the Ultimate Warrior.
Definitely.
Dun, 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 dun,
I've listened to his music so much
in the last 2 weeks.
Not just even in the last 2 weeks, but since I've had 2K14.
Yeah.
I've listened to that music so much, and I was like, "That's freaking awesome!"
It's gonna hurt
that
you.
Pumps you up.
It's gonna hurt you when I buy that game and make him a member of my NWO stable.
If you win in the draft.
That brings me to my last theme: NWO Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wolfpack's back, causing mass destruction.
Guess who's here? The Bad Boys of Wrestling.
All right. So my 5. Start number 5 with Edge. Back his Metalingus by Alter Bridge. Great song.
I like it.
Bad News Barrett's new theme music. I love it.
Oh yeah,
It's in there.
Bad News Barrett's
The King of Kings, Triple H. It just gets me pumped every time. It's on my workout iPod.
It's been overdone so much.
I know.
Recently, though.
Warriors number 2, of course, and my number 1. Old school CM Punk.
I like it.
absolutely
I
love
like
this
it.
one.
This was awesome. That's perfect.
Right, you can do it.
Right.
All right, so that's all we got time for. We got our one last thing. Which diva would you marry?
All right.
Start with B.
So out of last week's show, Monday Night Raw, I would have to say, it shames me to say it, I would actually marry the Divas Champion right now. She was looking good. She was looking real gothy.
He really was.
And that's my shit.
I'm gonna have to fight you over that one, man, because Paige, my wifey material right there.
Well, you see, Paige is already on the list to become one of my 3 sister wives.
So I'm guessing
You've got like 7,000 reams of paper full of people who are on your 3 sister wives. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Paige.
See, I was gonna pick Paige, but since y'all two did, I don't want y'all sloppy seconds. So I will probably go with Nikki Bella. She's the better looking of the two because I think she's she openly said she had breast
beauty mark,
implants.
or is she the one without the beauty?
I can't remember.
No,
I know
or is that Tia Tamara Mark?
she's got the breast.
Oh, y'all didn't even get the joke.
I did.
Oh,
I
sorry.
did.
All right. Well, that's all we have time for. Make sure you hit us up on the website, bottom of the mat with 2Ts.com.
We're recording this on Saturday. It is Saturday the 19th. We'll be recording the nerd portion of this here podcast tomorrow, Sunday the 20th, so we can get Rubicron Maximus to be involved in that, because I'm sure everybody's wanting to hear his drunk ass on the mic.
Oh, of course, he was a hit last
I'm
week.
saying,
It really was.
Oh, speaking of, we have fans. Like, I got a guy came into my job yesterday.
Really?
He's like, dude, I listened to your podcast, man. I really liked it, dude. It was fucking funny. So, thanks to that guy. Shouts out. I'm not gonna throw you on blast on national radio. So,
if you're listening to us, talk about us to your friends. If you're not listening to us, you're not hearing me speak right now, so I don't know why I'm even still talking to you.
We would definitely love all the fan support we can get. But this is all we have time for. Signing off.
By the way,
okay.
real quick, I actually we've got a Google Voice account set up for this.
I'll put it on the website.
So
yeah.
we're gonna have in addition to our emails and everything, we've got a Google Voice. If you want to shoot us a text message, If that's easier for you than an email, shoot us a text message with what you'd like to see on the show or what you want to have us talk about.
And we don't talk about anything on the nerd side. So if there's anything you want to hear, tell us about it. Even if it's just a funny video you saw, we'll play the funny video. We'll give you comments on the funny video while we watch the motherfucker.
Just don't make us do 2 Rules 1 Cup again. I can't
2 Girls 1 Cup.
I can't do that.
Yeah, that's.
I have a funny story for that I will save for the next step, for the nerd portion of this episode. So come on back to us now. You hear? This is the Double B.
This is House.
And this is Fish Food, and you have been listening to Bottom of the Mat.
We are signing off. Bliatch!